Hi there, I'm James Shears from Soundcraft in London, UK, and I'm here in San Francisco to talk to you about the new Soundcraft SI3 Digital Live console. Now, this console has a lot of features that are very, very useful for the church sound engineer. You get a lot of inputs on this console for not a lot of money. 64 inputs plus 4 stereo inputs, 8 assignable analog insert points for plugging in your favorite analog outboard gear, and also 24 output buses, 8 matrix outputs, left, right and center outputs, and all of those outputs are on dedicated XLRs. Every bus has a physical output, so no need to reprioritize between different applications that you've been called in to do. So let's have a look at how the console is controlled. Over here we have 16 input faders, and over here we have another 16 input faders. These control inputs 1 to 32 and inputs 33 to 64. We have 12 output faders, which control inputs 1 to 12, outputs 1 to 12, outputs 13 to 24, 8 matrix outputs, and you've also got 12 VCAs. And you'll note the color coding that we use. This is a patented Soundcraft feature called Fader Glow, and I'll explain a little bit about that in a couple of minutes. Why is it easy to use? If you're an analog engineer, you'll be familiar with working in a plane where you're working up the analog channel strip, and over there you'd find gain, auxes, EQ, and pan. These encoders here reproduce that. It's like we've taken an analog channel strip and rotated it through 90 degrees. So over here, if I press EQ, this is a 4-band, fully parametric EQ. You select the channel and away you go. You want to add phantom power? Press phantom power, or phase reverse. Add some EQ, routing to left, right, and center outputs. And over here we have a gate and a compressor. Every single channel has full control of an analog style gate and an analog style compressor. Over here, even more like an analog console, if I press the gain controls, these now become individual gain controls for each channel. Or press the pan control. Pan controls for each channel. This meter over here is showing me input level, gate activity and gain reduction for the channel below it. The channel name is always present. This is the only area of the channel that actually changes depending on what selection I've made. If we move over into the center section, what's one of the most common things that you're going to have to do as a sound engineer in a church? More than likely, you're going to have to do front of house mixing for the congregation, but also monitor mixing for the musicians on stage. Now, this color-coded output buses over here make that really easy to do. So if this fader over here is the drummer's mix, for example, and this one over here is the worship leader's monitor mix, all I have to do is select the drummer's mix, press this fader follow button, and now this is now a mix on my normal mixing faders for the drummer. If I press the worship leader's channel, this is now the mix for the worship leader. The yellow fader glow is confirming that I'm not in my mix mode. I'm now doing a mix for monitors. When I come out of that mode, I'm back to mixing front of house. Over here, if I want to add some effects, some lexicon effects, this blue color is a bus that's configured to be a lexicon effects send. Select that, do the same. Blue fader glow, so this is my inputs to the lexicon processor. Color coding allowing you to make sure you're not going to make a mistake. As I said before, 4 lexicon processors in here, which are top quality reverbs, and you get 4 of those included with the console. And here's another feature that's extremely useful for church applications, and that's using Snapshot Recall to reconfigure the console. So over here, we may have the setup for the morning service, and then for the evening service, I can set up a completely different setup. And it will recall all those settings. This is something that's really, really useful for you. So there you have it, the Soundcraft SI3 Live Digital Console. Come and see us at www.soundcraftdigital.com to get more information on the console. Thank you for your time.